What's up, faithful? It is your boy Niner Sickness with the N.W.A podcast. We have a full crew tonight. I'm excited. We have a W. We're in the playoffs for the second time under Kyle Shanahan, and we're going to talk about that. I got the boys waiting on deck. We got Florida Mike. We got the Boston Hater. And on the phone, we got the E-Man ready to talk some 49er football. So with no further ado, let me go ahead and bring in these gentlemen. What's up, gentlemen? Go Niners.
Bang, bang, Niner game.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. Nate, I'm going to open it up with you, bro. You're just in a little bit. Say hi to everybody popping in, and then we'll get your thoughts about the game after I give everybody a chance to say hello.
Okay, just welcome everybody. Glad you're here. We got a victory, people. We're going to the playoffs, and we did it the way I wanted to do it, by winning to get in.
Yeah, going through the front door instead of the back door. I hear it. I love it. E-Man, what's up, brother? You're on the phone line. What's your thoughts? Say hello to everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I definitely wouldn't count on the Falcons beating the Saints. So, yeah, the only way we were going to get in is winning. And sucks that we granted them a 17-point lead, but hey, I'm just glad we won and got a chance to make a spark in the postseason.
Definitely. You get to find out what team you are when you face adversity. And 17-0, they sure did it in the first half. But before we get into it, Mike, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing? How you feeling? Say hello to everybody watching.
Hey, man, big shout out. I haven't seen you guys since last year. So happy 2022. And we are glad to be back. We know that we've been out for a little bit. Life situations arise collectively for the group, but we is back. And great that we're back on a winning note on top of that. I got to give a big shout out to my niece. She converted over to San Francisco. She's not really into sports, but she knows I love the 49ers, and she watched the game, and she called it when we was down like 17-0, we're going to come back and win. She called it, so I got to give her a big shout out. Big shout out to all the Niner chapters and everybody tuning in and still rocking with us, our followers. So let's keep this thing going, and let's go.
That's good, man. She called it. That's awesome. That's amazing. And she definitely converted to the right team, man. And she's coming to a team that is red hot going into the playoffs, man. And, man, what a game. What a game. I don't know about you guys, but it was definitely a nail-biter. I wasn't too optimistic in the beginning of the game. I started to lose my faith on Jimmy, man, and the team. But they had different plans. And when the rubber meets the road, they came through, man. And going into halftime, 17-3, knowing that Atlanta was being beaten badly by the Saints, they decided, in my belief, that if they were going to get in, they were going to do it on their own merit, and they were just going to lay everything out. And I saw a different team come out in the second half. I was fired up, man. So, E-Man, real quick, what excited you the most? I know there's a lot of facets that you got excited about, but what excited you the most, and which player kind of you liked who played tonight?
What excited me the most is when we got the interception at the end because my blood pressure was through the roof.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Talk about being in the ER.
I actually wore my Brandon Ayuk jersey today, and like he really had a great game. Like outside of Jennings catching the 2 touchdowns, BA's been showing up lately and showing out. Outside of it's nice to have our receivers to actually have great games, and on the defensive side, I think Eric Armstead had a hell of a game.
He sure did, man. Eric Armstead, for all the haters out there, man, he's been consistent all year long, doing his thing, man. And it's nice to see him pull in a couple of sacks and show everybody what we all know that he's been doing. Nate, What's your thoughts in this game, brother? What excited you the most in
Well,
this game?
first of all, you know I was there, right?
No, I did not.
I was
Oh,
there.
okay.
So
Well, even better. How was that? Let me ask you this then. I didn't know that. What? How was the atmosphere there? And was there more Niner fans than Rams fans in that
come
look?
on, man. You can't tell me if you people, if you don't watch football at home like I do, where the sound is off because I don't want to hear the play-by-play guys because I think they're full of crap. You had to hear what I heard. It sounded like they were at Levi's. It didn't sound like they were at. I mean, there was just way more Niner fans, and they were much louder when the Niners made a play. That place it would erupt. You'd hear a little something when the Rams made a play, but it was much louder when the Niners made a play. And when you look through, you were looking. I mean, I know you saw that sea of red out there. There was way more Niner fans. I think we had them maybe 2-1.
That's that's awesome, man. That is
Um,
awesome. Yeah, I did definitely see a lot of red over there. I know that we own LA, and I noticed that when the Rams had the ball and they had to make a crucial play, I heard a lot of loud. Normally when the offense of the home team is on the field, it's kind of quiet. Not in this particular case, right?
no, not at all.
There were. Yeah, I love it, man. And wow, I didn't know you were there. That's awesome. So I can imagine all the Niner fans leaving that stadium. Just how was the expression
And you
of
know what?
how was
The
the
thing
expression of
about
the
it,
Rams fans?
the Rams fans kind of, it's almost like they knew not to. Yeah, they weren't acting like Sean McVay going to the damn end zone and celebrating the quarter like he had just won the Super Bowl. No, they came out. Yeah, yes, Javier, it's Sunday. But anyway, the fans were kind of like reserved. Like it's 17-3, they didn't feel comfortable with that lead. It's like this could turn around real quick, and
Really?
yeah, and they were really when it was 24-17, and McVay decided on 3rd and 7 to run the ball and just to burn our timeout instead of throwing, which has pretty much worked for them pretty much the whole game. They decided not to throw. They ran the ball. They punted, gave us the ball. We jammed it right down their throat, touchdown, and went to overtime. Well, I think that was a bad call on his part. 3rd and 7, and you're not trying to keep your offense out there that's been successful throwing the football. I don't get it. But hey,
I was gonna say whenever we decided to punt it within that, right after, I think it was like right there at the end there, 2 minutes. I was really nervous that that was it right there because I was like, man, like but it just seemed like all they had to do was get a first down, and that'd have been it.
Well, they definitely made it feel like have you sitting at the edge of your seat, man. What a win! I mean, to go into a hostile environment, playing a team that has been playing very good. They have, I believe, they won the last 5 games in a row. They were very confident. They needed to win the West. Although by default they did win the West. Now the Cardinals, I guess, didn't want it because they had the opportunity to win the West, and they jeopardized that by losing to the Seahawks 38-30. And the Seahawks just ran all over that defense of Arizona. Go ahead, Nate.
you know,
You want to say something?
I was thinking we'll see next week. We'll know for sure. But do you think that they were more interested in getting the Rams in the first round than they were winning the division? I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, do they think they can handle it? We'll see. We'll see.
So by the Rams losing, I'm going to hand it to you right now, Mike. By the Rams losing, I know the Rams would have won tonight. They would have been the second seed. By losing, they went down to the fifth seed, correct?
4.
Oh, they went down to the fourth. Excuse me.
Yeah. Arizona's the 5.
Oh, Arizona's the 5. Okay, um, so Tampa Bay went to the second. So it's Green Bay, Tampa Bay, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Cardinals, us, and then Philly. Correct. So
Yep.
Philly plays Tampa.
Yes.
Okay. The Rams play the Cardinals, and the Cowboys host us in Jerry's World.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a fun weekend to watch. While our week got extended, Mike, our weekend got extended. Our game did not end today. A lot of us were rooting for Atlanta. Atlanta did not come through, but at the end of the day, we didn't need Atlanta to do anything for us, which they didn't anyway. They took the matters in their own hand, and they secured the victory, and they secured themselves in the playoffs next week. What did you think about that, Florida Mike? I know you've been fired up. I seen you and your family doing videos. Tell me how you feel, brother.
It's always a delighted feeling when we win, especially a game of this magnitude. But now, while everyone's celebrating tonight, I'm already in hate mode for Dallas. As everyone knows, Dallas is my most hated team. So
I'm
after
with
the
you. I'm
video that
with
you
you.
saw on my social media, I cut the lights. Notice the lights was dark. I didn't have the lights on, and that was a foreshadow of me being pissed off right after celebration. I purposely had the lights off while I celebrated because I was that mad that we're playing the team that I got in a fight with my cousin on Madden 93 over. So I hated the Cowboys then when we got in a fight when me and him played the Niners versus Cowboys, and I hate them now. And I have to have this win for my sanity.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know that Nate and probably Eric doesn't feel that way, but I'm with you. I don't like the Cowboys either, man. I know the rivalry's been old. I mean, it was in the '90s. There's no rivalry between the Cowboys and Niners anymore. But maybe this is a start of a new rivalry between them. But any chance you get to play the Cowboys and beat them, why not?
Yeah. And honestly, I've even in the 90s, I really had no animosity toward the Cowboys per se, except for on game day. Uh, I might as well go ahead and put Tom in there because Tom actually uh, tagged me in a message to say, you already know, because Tom can't stand the Cowboys. Yeah. So,
I'm with Tom 114%. I got Tom's back on that. I'm with Tom. I hate Dallas
yeah.
with everyone else, but them a little bit more. I'm with them.
Yeah,
And
I think I hate Dallas as much as maybe not as much as Nate hates Boston, but
no way.
pretty close.
No, even close.
No.
Not even
I
close.
tell you what, I know
Football
we're
team.
talking about
I hate the whole damn city.
Ambry Thomas making a great play, in which he did. You know, that definitely kept the game off. I'm glad he caught it, secured it, and intercepted it because we didn't want them having another shot downfield, especially when they were converting on third and longs tonight. But I tell you who my favorite player on offense was, and it's probably a name you're not going to expect. It was the rookie on the line, McKivitz. Was it McKivitz?
He's
Yeah,
not a rookie. Yeah.
he's not a rookie, but yeah, but he's
I
raw.
call him a rookie because he hadn't played a lot. You know, that's just me being what I say. But
McKivitz, yeah.
yeah, McKivitz. I was really impressed with him. I didn't know what to expect with Trent Williams out because when I got that news, I was like, man, that's a big loss. You know,
Yes.
and you definitely was like, can we get the run game going? But the fact that he came in, stepped up, and I'm big on offensive line because I feel like when your offensive line, with the way we run our ball, we definitely have to have trenches solidified up front to open up all the offense. So to see him do a really good job out there, he definitely surpassed my expectations. Put it like that. He did a good job out there. On the defensive side, Ambry Thomas was my favorite. On the offensive side, I'm going McKivitz for me.
Yeah, he definitely stepped up. Honestly, for myself, when I heard the news that Trent Williams was going to be inactive for this game, I immediately thought Jalen Moore was going to start at that position, and I was like, man, how is this going to go, especially with Von Miller at the edge and Aaron Donald? But and then I heard McKivitz, and I'll be honest with you, I'm like, oh, dang, who's even worse, McKivitz or Moore? But respectfully, I got to give credit to McKivitz. He did more better than what I expected him to do. Yeah, like Nate mentioned earlier before we went live, he did give up a sack to Von Miller, but that's Von Miller, and you're playing a position that I think he played last year as a guard, not really as a tackle. So you got to give him props. He only gave up one sack first time playing a tackle, and he was just thrown in there today. So overall, man, he did pretty good in my expectations. What are your
Yeah.
guys' thoughts on him like that?
I absolutely believe he did well. It was just the timing of the sack that he gave up. Now, mind you, if it wasn't for the fortuitous coaching decisions of Sean McVay, we might not have had another opportunity,
True.
because I will never understand when we punt the ball back to them after that sack happened. You got third down and 7. They have the ball, and we have one timeout. So instead of throwing the football, they run it, get 1 yard, and punt. And we go down, score the touchdown, and the rest is history. But it's the fact that he gave us that opportunity. We're not saying that pass play would have been successful, but based on what we've seen most of the night, if we didn't just swarm him with the pass rush, it probably was going to be successful. So
Yeah, they weren't really that successful running the football at all. So, hearing that Cam Akers was coming back to play,
yeah.
I thought they would have been a little bit more successful running the ball, but no, we were definitely the better team as far as running the football goes.
Yeah.
And
Speaking.
the biggest worry for me was, Trent Williams is huge, but K'Wan Williams being out was even more of a worry for me.
Yeah, it didn't turn out to be as bad as I
No,
thought.
not really. Mosley came back nicely, and he did get a pick. We created a couple of turnovers to accrue for our mistakes that we've made. So
How many times did we run the ball against the Rams tonight?
30, 31,
31. So
somewhere right around
30 is a
me
good
see.
mark. Anything over 30 is great. So
I'm trying to think of this. You had 21 carries for Elijah, 8 for Debo, and 1 each for Jimmy and Hasty. So yeah, that was it. So yeah, 28 plus 3. Yeah,
how many yards
31.
did Mitchell have? Do you know?
85, I believe.
yeah, 85.
Maybe-
He didn't get to that 122 that I wanted to, but
Yeah, but going back to the defense, we've only had one game in our last 8 games where we gave up over 100 yards rushing. Today we only gave up 64, but the one game we gave up 146. 73 of that 146, which is dead half, came on the fake punt. So our run defense has been solid for the last half of the year.
it definitely has.
Basically, since Eric Armstead became a defensive tackle. I just want to point that out.
After the Bears game, during the Bears game, after the Bears game, yeah.
And by the way, who was probably the best defensive player on the field today, I want to point out.
Oh yeah, very, very.
Oh,
yeah.
wait a minute, Boston Hater. Eric Armstead. Let me see. Is that the guy that a lot of people were saying that we should have got rid of and kept DeForest Buckner when we lost to the Colts? Are you talking about that same Eric Armstead?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify that. Go ahead.
Consistent all year.
Yeah, the overpaid Eric Armstead. Yeah, that's the guy.
The guy that's cheaper and it wouldn't eat up a lot of our payroll, so we can keep other guys that perform very well today. Him?
That is correct.
Okay, got you. I just want to make sure. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Didn't the Colts lose to the Jaguars too today? And
Yeah,
now they're putting it on.
Yeah. Um,
Wait, E-Man, I had to ask you a question. Are the Colts led by DeForest Buckner, right? Are they in the playoffs?
No, they're
playoffs,
not.
playoffs.
yeah.
Okay. I was just checking.
In
Okay.
Jim Mora's
And this
words, playoffs. You know,
and Jim Mora, ironically.
all they had to do is win, like the Niners. All they had to do is win a division game. But the difference between them and us, they were playing a team like the Jaguars that only had won 2 games
Playing
to
division.
that point, and they're playing a
Division.
rookie quarterback, right?
Now,
Yeah.
this is not a swipe at DeForest Buckner. I'm for you that don't know my sense of humor. When I choose to display it, um, I'm basically responding to Niner fans that was criticizing Eric Armstead, in his career. And like we've said on this panel, it's a long season. So DeForest Buckner is a great player. I take nothing away from him. He's done a lot of things that were great when he was with San Francisco, but he's not on our team. And if you guys understand business and economics, we have a broader task to cover a lot of players. As you see, we have a lot of players that are hurt. So a lot of these guys that are paid, we're able to pay across the board and have a deeper depth roster because we didn't pay one guy a hell of a lot of money. So if you guys understand that, that's where that's coming from because we knew Eric Armstead was cheaper and he can be productive enough for us to be a good team as he just played today. So yeah, even though we lost to the Colts, who would you rather be? When we played the Colts and lost, a lot of Niner fans criticized the move about DeForest Buckner. But now look at where we at now. And in the words of Kumo D, for the old school people, how you like me now? That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, there was one other thing I'd like to bring up. I don't know who noticed this, but I because at a game I miss a lot more than I see like on TV. I notice a lot more. But there was a specific play where three of our defensive linemen met at the quarterback,
Yep.
and everybody says, "Well, Nick Bosa's not doing it." You know why they met at the quarterback? There were three offensive linemen all around Nick Bosa, while there were three of our defensive linemen all on top of their quarterback. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the one that leads us away, man. People want to see sacks. People want to see Bosa doing everything. They want to see a TJ Watt type of a player, but he's
he's
unique
better.
in what he does, man.
He's better than TJ Watt.
I agree.
Yeah.
The numbers doesn't show it sack wise, but if you see what the guy's been the most held defensive player of the whole NFL, and double team and held, and yet he has 16 sacks this year. That's
But we're
pretty
talking
amazing, man.
pressure is what matters. Sacks happen when you pressure the quarterback. If you're one of these people that has a bunch of sacks, I love to bring this up. I'm going to go back a little ways and I'm going to actually go to another team. There was this guy named Beasley on the Atlanta Falcons. One
Big
year,
Beasley.
yeah, he had 15 and a half sacks one year. He only had a total of 44 pressures. That's a ridiculous sack number. That's why he's never seen those numbers again because he doesn't pressure the quarterback regularly enough. Nick Bosa had like 80 some pressures his rookie year and had like 8 sacks. The pressure is what is important. It's nice to get sacks and they're a nice addition to the pressure. But if you're not hitting the quarterback, if you're not pressuring the quarterback on a regular, those sack numbers don't mean jack.
Yeah, a
So,
lot of those sacks can be deceiving too because players, a quarterback can be pushed out of the pocket and it just happens to go your way. He trips, you touch him, and it's a sack. Was it really a sack? You just happened to be at the right spot, but pressures are generated, and you are earning those pressures. So,
mhm.
although everybody's comfortable with the sacks, and don't get me wrong, I like sacks as well, but um, if I had to choose, I would choose pressures over sacks. Now, if you can get both, why not? And how many pressures does Bosa have up to date? Do you know, Nate?
I don't know. He's definitely slowed down in the last few games, but the thing is, it's definitely been a thing where he's creating opportunities for for his teammates, and they're getting a lot of it. Specifically, most Arden Key. Arden Key has been
Yeah, he's been a
Just
reception of Bosa's
he's been a big beneficiary. Eric
beneficiary.
Armstead does benefit as well. I noticed that Eric Armstead seems to struggle in pass rush when he doesn't have an outstanding defensive end next to him, but he excels when he does. Um, and you said Bosa's pressure. Is that what you were asking? I can look that up, but yeah,
Cool,
I don't.
cool. Yeah, if you can, that'd be great. If not, don't worry about it. But you know, you're right. Eric Armstead, and there's nothing wrong with him being very good when you have because there's some players that are not even good with a great defensive end at the end. But he needs a complementary defensive end to Bob. We see that in 2019 when we had D Ford and or either one of them, and you saw he was very productive. 2020 not so much when everything relied when he got double team. He's not as now nowhere near a Bosa status. But when you do have that elite pass rusher at the other side, I like what Eric Armstead does. And the thing about what people don't notice with Aaron Armstead, he pushes the pocket, man. The game against the Texans, I don't think he registered a sack. But do you know how much damage that kid did to that offensive line? He was pushing them left and right. There was a sack that I think number 56 got, and he only was able to get that sack because Eric Armstead pushed the guard all the way back to the quarterback and just bull rush that guard. So, like you said, sacks are nice, but they can be misleading. Eric Armstead was definitely a disruptor in that inside. I like that they played him on the outside. They haven't played him on the outside for a very long time, and they did that today. I believe the sack that he got today was on the outside. So it was kind of nice to see, but I definitely like him on the inside more. So Eric, are you're quiet there? Let me ask you, what's your thoughts? I want to get your thoughts on Jimmy playing through the injured thumb, um, and just playing hurt, man, and just people. There's haters of Jimmy. There's those that like Jimmy, but at the end of the day, I want to get your thoughts personally on Jimmy. What's your thought, Jimmy, as a quarterback in
Um,
today's game?
well, I mean, he's still the best option we have at quarterback. Um, Injured thumb or not, I mean, I was kind of worried at how his thumb was really affecting him, but um, total different approach coming out the second half. Like coming into the first half, it's like, wow, like did they rush him back or is it really affected him? But I think he just got into his own and the team kind of built up momentum around him. So uh, the test now is just going to see how his thumb affects him after playing. So definitely going to want him for Dallas.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, Nate, what talking about Greenlaw, and Tom brought him up. Yeah, he got a couple penalties today, but man, the guy hasn't played for most of the year, and this guy got to go. Hold on, but let me ban this guy. You're out of here. But anyway, Greenlaw came back. He hasn't played for most of the year, so there was a couple rust in there. But I think overall he did pretty good, don't you think, Nate?
Actually, did very good. He had one dumb penalty. The one where he hit helmet to helmet wasn't dumb. He was being aggressive
Yeah,
and it
true.
just so happened that he caught the helmet. So that was just one of those plays. You play football long enough, that's going to happen. Uh, but one of them was kind of you know silly on his part. The other one I don't know, but other than that, he you know was running down people sideline to sideline. He had a couple of pass breakups in pass coverage. Uh, Looked really good. Actually, better than I thought he would, being out for so long. Um, and
Yeah,
also, as we bring up when we talked about Nick Bosa's total pressures coming into today, he had 71.
71.
Yeah, coming into today. That doesn't
Dang.
include.
Whatever he did today to
Yeah.
add to that. Wow. Yeah, and this is double team. This is being held.
Uh,
Man, this guy's a beast.
there's that here. He is the most double teamed player in all of football, offense or defense.
Yeah, yeah, that's just he's definitely gonna this is for another show, but he's definitely gonna get paid, man, and I think he's worth it. I know there's a lot of there can be different difference of opinions there, but
He's
I think
gonna
he'll
get
be
paid.
worth every penny he gets his way, man. He definitely earns it.
I don't know if he'd be worth it all, but he's gonna get
There's a
it.
there's a couple players that are going to get paid.
Oh yeah,
One
Debo's
on
one
the
of them.
offensive side and one on the defensive side.
2 on the offensive side.
Yeah, yep. You got two on there.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a left guard that's getting a payday. Count on it.
Oh yeah, Thomason.
yeah, yeah. He's been pretty steady at that position. When you don't hear that much on the right on the left side, that's pretty good. Um, Mr. Florida Mike, man, with all your excitement and fired up like we all are, what player impressed you the most just in today's game out of their performance?
I told you guys I like McKivitz, man.
Okay.
He stepped up huge for me because I knew that the key to beating the Lambs, um, was running the football as we do against most teams, but physically imposing our will on them in the trenches is huge. And when Trent Williams was not available, that caused some concern. So to see this McKivitz come in there, play out of position, and step up to the plate in a huge game was crazy. I mean, I was watching him the entire offense, and then I saw what we did after, and I really like what I saw out of him, man. And I'm glad he stepped up today. He did a great job. So he excited me the most over everybody on offense. Now I will say this: Jawan Jennings, I liked. Um, I was really happy at the way he played also. But he plays his normal position, whereas McKivitz was filling in on another side. So that's why I'm going to get the edge to McKivitz. But Jawan Jennings will be the 1B to the 1A.
Yeah, to your point, Juwan Jennings, and though I liked him a lot, he has been playing that position all year long. To McKivitz, when he did play for us, he played as a guard, not necessarily as a left tackle. And then you got to come in and you got to play at the most, probably hardest position to play non-quarterback is that left tackle. Um, and he came in and did pretty good. I mean, he only gave up, I believe, I don't know how many pressures, but I know he gave up only one sack. So that to me was very, very good in this part. And the run game was there because of the lanes that were opening. I know we didn't see um, Kittle as much that we wanted to, but I know they kind of had to use him to help out McKivitz a little bit more in that
Not,
blocking.
not,
But I think they used him enough, didn't they?
not so much. Yeah,
No,
he used him a little, but they just didn't throw his way. Kittle was in a lot of pass routes.
was he? Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
they
know,
completely just trusted McKivitz on this.
they
Wow.
were they just found 3 guys to go to. They were constantly going to Debo, Ayuk,
And Jennings.
and Jennings.
I think Jimmy
Was
fell in
was
love
was
with
Kittle
Jennings.
was Jennings just open and like was Kittle double team? Like what was
Uh,
going on a lot of those plays?
Kittle was getting double teamed a lot, but
Okay.
Kittle, there were plays where Kittle was open. They just when they targeted Kittle, it seemed like they were just targeting him on like little dump passes, and guys were hanging all over him when he caught the ball, so he didn't really get to you know get out in space and actually produce. He didn't get downfield and get a targeted either. When he was downfield, they didn't target him for whatever reason. But yeah, as far as the other guys, like Debo, Debo got targeted downfield a couple of times, but he made some stuff happen on some real short stuff. There was one time where the play should have got blown up. Debo actually caught a like a one of those quick like bubble screens, and Jalen Ramsey actually had his jersey, and Debo shook free of him and broke another couple of tackles and ended up with like darn near 40 yards.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think Aaron Donald definitely knows the name of Debo Samuel now, huh?
nah, he doesn't know.
I think that was so stupid anyway, but that's funny.
But if I was to say who I was most impressed by, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Who's
He threw
that?
2 interceptions and he kept playing. He
Yeah,
kept plugging away. He never quit. He kept producing after he made these mistakes.
I agree.
I was really impressed by that. If I was to say who would be next in line, if I was to pick a defensive player, Eric Armstead. He was all over the place. Every time you turned around, Eric Armstead was in the face of the quarterback. He probably had 7 or 8 pressures today. I'm just guessing. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know he had 2.5 sacks, and he probably had 7 or 8 pressures
Yeah, he
total.
definitely got to know Matthew Stafford very
Yeah,
well today.
yeah, they're on a first name basis for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what about honorable mention Robbie Gold?
Yeah. Very good point, Eric.
Nah,
He did a good job punting.
yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder what's up with Mitch.
He was in concussion protocol. That's what they sent him back. He's not. So hopefully we can get him back for next week.
Nate made a very valid point in the chat that we have, that when he was going to punt, he goes, "Oh boy, let's see how he does." And he was actually, I believe, after that remark, he punted a 47 yarder.
Yeah,
48
it was
yarder.
it was
Yeah.
ugly, but it was 47 yards and there was
So
no.
he didn't hurt us. He definitely helped us. So for all
Robbie
those people
Gould,
who don't like Robbie Gold, I mean, he is overpaid, but he does
he
his.
had,
I mean, he does what he needs to do, man.
he had 3 punts in his career prior to today.
Wow,
He
I didn't know that.
averaged 27 yards a punt. Yeah, when I was listening to that, I was at the game and I heard that. I was like, "Oh my god, here we go." I was like, our punter's struggling. This is going to be worse. And he had 2 punts, and they were actually both really good.
Yeah, our kicker hits a 48 yarder, and their kicker punts a 58 yarder. So
Yeah, but there was a
they probably
7,
got one of the best. They probably got one of the best punters in the league, in my opinion. But
but he had a 17-yard return on that 58-yard punt. So
yeah,
I think our special teams, kudos to Hightower.
they
They
were up
were
and
kind of
down.
up and down, but they were not as bad. That was one of my main concerns going into this game, is how much yards we're going to give up on kickoffs. But
Started
overall,
off
they
bad.
did pretty good.
Yeah, we started off bad.
Yeah, as usual. But
Little short punt by you know by our punter and Wisnowski, and then the run back nullified damn near the whole punt. I think
Yeah.
he 12 yards short of nullifying the entire punt on so
That's
the
crazy.
coverage was terrible. The kick was not very good. I think it was only like 38, 39 yards. But yeah, it, yeah, we got to do better on special teams. We definitely have some real issues there.
Yeah, I we'll probably get into this on our next show, which is Friday, God willing, about the Cowboys and Niners playoff game. But real quick, I just want to get a little insight to give everybody a taste of what we're going to talk about next week. But do the Cowboys scare us at all in any facet of the game, honestly?
Yes. One of the things that the Cowboys are best at is they've got big play wide receivers, and we have trouble covering, especially at corner. So if we can keep them in the middle of the field, that's good for us. And we've been pretty good about doing that for most teams all year. But if they get to challenging us a lot on the outside, that could be problematic. Mosley being back really helps, but I don't know if that's enough. We'll see.
Mosley being back and having Thomas continue to grow and build confidence is definitely a plus. But
I was so happy for him. I was so happy for him.
Definitely, we have faced some good receivers this year with that secondary, and D'Amico Ryans has done a great job in disguising his corners for the most part. And I think that's very, very good in this part, man. It's helped us out a lot because we faced some good receivers. And of course, they got their yards as well, but they didn't kill us more than I thought they would. So going into this Dallas, and you're right, Mari Cooper, what's his number 88 is playing pretty good. They got a third quarterback. A receiver is pretty good. But their run game doesn't frighten me at all. Ezekiel Elliott has not been the Ezekiel Elliott of old. I think he's only averaging 2 to 3 yards per carry, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we've been good against the run.
4 yards a carry. Come on, man, stop it.
He's 3 yards. It hasn't been no more than 3 yards. Come on.
You get 1,000 yards. You know how many carries you have to get 1,000 yards?
He is bad.
Yards a carry. He averages 4 yards a carry. Stop it.
An extra yard. Excuse me.
4 yards a
4
carry.
yards.
There's no shame in 4 yards.
No, but it's not like he was doing 7 or 8, and I'm saying 3. I said 3.
Not,
you say 4. Tomato.
No, that's not tomato. 3 is terrible. 4 is respectable.
But we can stop. We'll make him have 3 or less in this game. Watch with our pass. Our run game. But you're right. In the receiving part, we got to be careful because they do pose a threat there, and they have a pretty good quarterback back there throwing the ball, and Mr. Dak Prescott. But I feel confident. I think our offense can handle their defense a little bit better than their defense can handle our offense. Don't you think? Or did I say that backwards?
Well,
my point.
In my opinion, that's going to be an issue no matter who we play. Our corners have been our Achilles heel all pretty much majority of this year. So at the end of the day, despite what dynamic playmakers one team might have or whatever, teams have beaten. I mean, we saw it with the Titans, man. We had trouble guarding their dynamic receiver. We've had troubles guarding, whether it's one or multiple, we have trouble guarding receivers no matter what with our corners. So I'm not worried about Dallas and their deep threat and all this and that. As Nate eloquently quotes constantly, if we do what we're supposed to do, we will be fine. I don't give a damn what receivers they got. We go out there and put pressure on Dak. We go out there and lock up when we have to, especially on the big third downs when it counts the most, and depending on how the momentum of the game. And if our offense, the strength of this team, supposedly scores and does what they're supposed to do and not get down, it doesn't matter. They're not going to score every play. That's one thing. We got to limit those penalty flags. We got to limit the third and long conversions, and everything else will take care of itself. Outside of those two, I'm not worried about a damn thing. I'm really not. It's the damn Cowboys. I ain't worried about no damn Cowboys.
Here's the thing.
They better be worried about us.
Preach it, brother.
Our offense has got to do better with the turnover situation. We can't beat ourselves. That's the thing. We got to have a game where we're mistake free. I know here lately it's not been that way, but look at some of the teams that had some higher weapons that took advantage of us, like Cincinnati. The Rams have great weapons. Arizona. We have to play our style of football, which is taking care of the football, running the ball. We love to run the football, but and just doing enough on defense. We're not going to stop. We're not going to shut down Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. By no means, no. But when it matters, like third and 7, 3rd and 8, passing down or whatever, having a pass breakup, causing them to punt it, having them go 3 and out and getting the ball back to our offense and taking care of it, that's where it's going to matter.
Yeah, they can get all the yards they want on the field if you just keep them out of their.
It doesn't mean a damn thing if it don't result to points.
Exactly. They can have whatever yard. Look at today's game. If you look at Garoppolo's numbers compared to Stafford, people are going to look at the 3 touchdowns compared to the one. Uh, but who had the better game today between Garoppolo and Stafford? There's no way you're going to sit there and convince me that Stafford had a better game than
Hmm?
Garoppolo. I mean, they were pretty close, but
Yeah. So
you, you
you can
know,
argue.
but but did I don't know. I just think our defense, if our defense that played today against the Rams show up into that Cowboys game, I like our chances. Who do you think is going to be? I know it's a stupid question, but who do you think is going to be favorite? And I know Nate just says it doesn't matter, but who's going to be favorite? The
You
odds.
mean that second half defense that showed up? That's the Niners
Um,
defense we need.
well, our second half offense showed up. I think our defense was there from the
Fine.
first quarter, wasn't he?
The thing that we
I
didn't do was we actually started to apply a lot more pressure in the second half than we did in the
mean,
first.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know,
first half. The reason I said it is because first half I felt like we didn't blitz as much. We had,
we don't need
we
to make a habit out of that.
yeah, but we didn't really blitz as much at all. Like in the second half, we turned up a little bit more, which helped rush some of the quarterback's decisions. So, we had sent a few here and there, a little bit more in the second half, and that's what I observed. But yeah, go ahead, man. I know you was asking a question about being favorite. I'll let E-Man and Nate Boston Hater answer that one.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, E man.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that Dallas is going to be the favorite because of how well they performed. I think they might be the number one ranked offense in the league.
You think there'll be 7 point favorites or more?
No.
I'm not sure that much, but
About 4.5, maybe.
maybe.
Probably
Start off 4.5, and they'll probably win up like 3.5 by the time game
somewhere
time.
3-5.
Gotcha.
Somewhere between 3 and 5.
Yeah, that
I
makes
don't.
sense.
I mean, I'm not a gambler.
What?
Yeah,
What? I'm a gambler. I just don't have the money to gamble. So.
and you ain't a gambler. Whether it's by choice or by force, you're
Yeah,
not a
there.
gambler.
I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Huh? One's by choice and one's. But
You
anyway,
see, true gambler would gamble money they don't even have.
true that. That's in the somebody's a
Yeah.
yeah. They pretty much gamble everything they have. They gamble themselves out of their home, family, and so forth. But anyway, guys, I'm excited about today's game. It was nerve wracking to say the least, man. And I honestly I thought the way we played the first half that we were going to find ourselves out of the playoffs. I honestly thought that our season was over and we were just going to move on. But I love the way the Niners responded. I love the way they got together and came out the second half. I think that Kyle Shanahan was more aggressive in the second half and allowing Jimmy to do his thing. And one thing about Jimmy, he throws his interceptions, man. But one thing I do like about the kid, he forgets um, those interceptions and plays like he didn't throw nothing. He has, what do they call that? Short term memory. They like to call it for quarterbacks. He definitely has that, and you can tell because he threw some tight windows after those interceptions. And when you do that, you know that doesn't um, affect you. And real quick, Eric Paz, welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing, sir? Respectfully, if you can kind of, I know you're excited and fired up, bro, but if you can kind of watch the language a bit, we do have young viewers watching, and just want to keep it respectful for them. But welcome to the show, bro. And thank you for wiping your feet. For those, if you guys don't know what, on my show, I say that a lot. Wipe your feet by hitting the smash button. So if you hear that statement, that's where it comes from. But as we come to a close, guys, what do you guys? I'll give it to Mike, then give it to Nate and Eric. Give me about 2 minutes of this game and what you look forward to. And closing. We lost you, Mike.
Is Mike on?
Oh, my bad. I had mute. I was really glad at the fact that we didn't give up. We didn't quit. I really like the fact that we blitzed a little bit more in the second half and we adjusted. That was the biggest thing. I felt like last season No disrespect to Robert Saleh, but we adjusted a lot better defensively than in past years. So we came back and did those things. So I mean, we talk about it all the time outside of the show. Nate is vehement on that, but we all feel the same way as far as Robert Saleh goes. So we adjusted. I was really happy that Jimmy Garoppolo played tough despite having 2 picks or whatever. He played really tough and he was able to sustain long enough. But I'm gonna need Jimmy Garoppolo to not make those mistakes and take care of the football next game. That's what I'm looking forward to. And
That's
Dallas
awesome.
sucks.
And Dallas sucks.
And so does the TV show back. No, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, the football team sucks. Go ahead.
Anyway, go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, well, most likely, we showed a lot of resilience today. Some
Heck
things
yeah.
that we really hadn't seen from our team. Uh, coming back and from the turnover adversity, and actually, if you really want to get down to it, that's 2 weeks in a row with 2 different quarterbacks. And I'm looking at us looking forward with the Cowboys. We have every chance to beat them. We just have to play mistake free. We can't go out there, commit turnovers, giving up huge plays. If we make them work, they can't beat us. If they get it easy, they can beat us. So that means no big plays on special teams.
Yeah.
We need to be the ones making the big plays, not them. And if we make them dink and dunk and have to chip away, there's no way they're beating us like that. So that's the important thing. And no team in the NFC really wants to see us. We are far better than that 10-7 record indicates.
Yeah.
We're probably a good 3 games better than that. Special teams alone destroyed 3 games for us. I mean, we're at least a 13-14. But if the special teams don't come to play, if the defense makes terrible errors on the outside and, we're holding their guys on every play and they're throwing flags left and right, couple mistakes by the offense, our offensive mistakes get magnified because of our special teams, because of our corners on the outside making those errors. So we really count more on our offense to manage the game, burn time off the clock so that there are fewer opportunities for them to take advantage of our guys. And we also count on our pass rush to not expose those guys out there. And, we have a bright future in Ambry Thomas. People have said a lot of bad about him. They trash. He's getting a little bit better all the time. He made that play. I was so happy for him. But he's always in the right place. He just never makes plays on the ball. And to see him make a play on the ball, hopefully it's a sign of things to come. So
Yeah.
I think we might have it, if he can really get that straightened out, sky's the limit for that kid. We might have us a solid corner on the outside. And if we can get him and just him and E-Man alone would be huge for us, and I'm hoping that this, the Oregon kid that really hasn't got to play very much. I think he was on COVID protocol. Did he get off? I don't think he did.
No, he was still on it.
Yeah, because I didn't see him today at all. But hopefully he can become that slot guy of the future. And we might be set in the secondary.
Yeah. Any real quick, just because, and I'll give it to you, Eric, in a second. Any thoughts, or do you guys hear anything about Tart? Why he was out of the game? because he did miss quite a bit of
No, you know what? I remember in the chat, I asked about that because I saw he wasn't on the field. I don't know what happened with him.
because he definitely was missing the middle, man.
And I never heard anything after that. And, even in Kyle's press conference, he didn't mention anything about Tart. At least I didn't hear it. Did anybody in the chat hear anything about Tart?
He looked fine. He was the first one to congratulate Thomas on that interception on the
He sure
sideline.
was right there. Now that I think about it, he sure was.
Yep.
But
and he didn't look like he was hurt. I mean, I don't know what hurt looks like when you're, but you know what I mean. And he looked fine in what I'm trying to get at. So maybe they just decided to go in a different direction.
A groin injury.
Oh,
is that what they said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there it is then. There it is. Wow.
Yeah, I just looked it up. They were checking him out in like the Blue Medical Center or whatever.
There it is. It just came to mind. That's where I brought it up. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, Eric. Go ahead, Eric. Give your spiel, man.
Spiel is pretty much what I said earlier. Can't give Dallas opportunities. Keep Dak Prescott off the field. Run the ball effectively. I think we'll have great success. And as far as like some of the things is getting them in the 3rd and long and getting them off the field on defense. Should be excited to get some of our players, get a couple more players back, and just try to be healthy and make a run at this thing. And honestly, I still don't think we played our best football yet.
I agree.
We haven't played a complete game where we've been with the team that we were supposed to be this year.
Well, we're definitely playing good football right now, and we're not playing. I don't think we're playing in all cylinders, but we're definitely ramping pretty good going into the playoffs, which that's what you want to do. I just look forward into the second coming, Terrell Owens and Joanna Jennings. I had to throw that in there, but I was gonna say Jerry Rice, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna disrespect Jerry.
No disrespect, Terrell Owens.
Well, at least the same height. But anyway, Joanne Jennings is nowhere near that. Probably will never be. But if I may, he has come a long way. It may be what it is. He's a 3rd receiver on the chart, but he has been showing and impressing the coaches and his skill set. I know that Mohamed Sanu was healthy. He could have played today, but they still chose to go with him, and I'm glad they did.
Mohamed Sanu. Right?
Well, I know you don't like him either, but so I'm rooting for the kid. The better he gets, the better for us. Because imagine having Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and a solid play from Joanne Jennings would be nice. And one thing that Nate can say is that he is one hell of a blocker. Way better than Kendrick Bourne, right?
Dude's man, he's like Hines Ward all over again.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this dude's like crushing people.
That's a good comparison because I remember Hines Ward playing for the Steelers, man, and that was him, and also what's his name, Antoine Bolden, a little bit. Yeah, it's not as much as Ward, but yeah. But anyway, I like his play. So anyway, we got to the hour mark. I want to give. I know Mr. Floral Mike respectfully is in the East Coast, and I know it's late where he's at, man, and with all the excitement and all the yelling, I'm pretty sure he's pretty tired and ready to call it a night. So, with that said, man, Mike, always a pleasure having you on the show, man. Being part of the show, not having you, but being part of the show. Same thing with you, E-Man, and hopefully, I know we have you on the phone. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to look at that pretty face sometime soon. But in the meantime, we'll just sit here and look at cute Nate for the show. But Nate, also appreciate you, man, with your knowledge, what you bring to the game, and keeping me in check, making sure I don't get out of line. That's pretty good. But I love you guys, man. I love all the viewers. Eric Boss, Tom, love you guys. Edward, thank you for stopping by, bro. I know you Follow me over there from the Niners Sickness Podcast. Appreciate Dana Harvey. Always a pleasure. Everyone that popped into Kathy, the queen of the show, man. You guys are amazing. Javier Rios, thank you for your input tonight. We appreciate you guys. Until Friday, God willing, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll talk more in depth about the playoff game between the Cowboys and the Niners. But enjoy the win. Enjoy the win. And tomorrow is Victory Monday. Black Monday, by the way, too. I think, real quick before, I think Vic Vandro got fired today, right?
Yes, he did.
Wow. Yeah. So that was the first coach to
there's
go.
A whole lot more dropping out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. So with that, guys, once again, thank you guys for being part of the show. Everybody for tuning in. Have a blessed night. Always remember, God loves you. And enjoy and continue to support the red and gold, baby. And finish it off with, we hate what, Mike?
Screw Dallas. The TV show Dallas, it was all right. But you know what? Screw that TV show because it has Dallas in the name in it. Screw salad because Dallas reverses salad with one L. Screw everything, Dallas.
Just to see the face of Nate, man, is worth it. I love it.
Nate,
All right,
and
guys.
that
Nate's is priceless.
Nate's reactions loves all my screws. So thanks, Nate. I appreciate it. The screws are loose, baby. That's what we call it.
I love it.
No doubt.
All right, guys. Peace out. That didn't work. All right, guys. Good night.
Try it again.